good for us. Let's get through the disappointment so I can enjoy this. First of all, I give Chris a lot of credit. When you change your team that late in the year and do the things he's done, and he's played probably his best basketball the last 4 games, I got a lot of credit that goes to him. Those freshmen have been good. Suing has been really good, and that's the first part of this. The second part is, we're playing good, and I'll get to that, but our defense has been terrible. We're not guarding, and that's got to change. We went from 1-2 in the league in regular field goal percentage defense. We're still, I think, 1 in the league in 3-point percentage defense, and yet we're not guarding. And some of it is matchups, some of it's tough. They went real small a lot, playing likely at the 5. And, we tried to stay traditional somewhat. But for teams to be shooting, we're shooting 54 and 60, and a coach should be happy. But I'm honestly not, because I know we're not going to win that way, We got to do a better job defensively. So, in saying that, we got to do better. When you got to do a better job defensively, it usually turns into rebounding the ball. So those are the 2 areas that I think I put a big emphasis on a week ago, and yet we hasn't carried over. I thought the second half, when Tyson, AJ, and Jaden got after it, and in fairness to Malik, his back kind of really had some back spasms, and he just looked like he couldn't move at all. And that was a little tough on him. But, we had a 10-point lead again, and then ill-advised shot, turnover, 2 threes, and it's a ball game. So we still got some work to do. But if you're shooting the ball this good, we should be able to regain our defense, because we've been there already for probably 2/3 of this year. And so it's not like we have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to get back to understanding that I think players, when you start scoring points, I think it was Iowa women's basketball 40 years ago, you played offense on one end and defense on the other. If I could do that, I'd be really good, but I can't do that. So the guys that are scoring, and Tyson's been one of my best defenders, but that's the only thing that's been negative. On a positive, the ball is moving, the fast break. I think we had 17 points on our break early. That was a big plus. When we bared down, I thought we did a very good job defensively. With this team right now, it's sustaining things that has been a little bit of an issue, and we'll just have to keep working on that. But we're not by ourselves. The whole country's got some problems with that, and we just got to figure out how we can get better at it. So I was pleased. The crowd was awesome. Senior Day is a tough day for everybody, especially this year. And, we're kind of on break, and a lot of those kids stayed. I can't thank everybody enough, the community and everybody that did their job. And now we sit back and wait tomorrow. I mean, we could be, 3 seed, and we could be a 10 seed. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. It's incredible, but it is what it is, and we'll play the game how we play the game. Questions?
Kind of alluding to that, the tournament next weekend, I think it's now 3 to 7 seeds, so you've played yourself up with this today, but I guess how do you approach tomorrow with so much at stake? Do you try and gather?
Well, that's easy. That's easy. I get up, do a few Hail Marys, and then I go to church, and I pray for all the home teams to win, I think it is, and then ask God for forgiveness for wasting his time on a game instead he's got other things to do. So that's what my Sunday morning will be like, to be honest with you. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. I know this. I get blamed for a lot of things. I get praised for a lot of things, but I have no control of these things. I can guarantee you that. I'm just going to watch the TV like you guys, and really, we dug ourselves our own hole at Iowa. We already would have been in, right? I think. or close to
Yes.
it. We would have been in that 4. So we dug ourselves in our own hole. So, I mean, we're coming in the back door kind of, if we do, although other teams have done some things too, but if we play on Thursday, we're going to be fired up to play on Thursday. If we get to Friday, we're going to be excited about that. I think the best thing is we've proven, playing arguably one of the toughest schedules in the league, that we can play with anybody. Unfortunately, a lot of teams can play with us.
Joey sort of described it a little bit for us a bit ago, but.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said he really wasn't expecting to do it, but everybody else sort of told him to.
Oh, yeah, he told me that it's, you act like it was a religion, that you can't kiss the Spartan head twice, so, Joey, Joey is, so I said, fine, don't kiss it, and then he was out there, I think he got caught up in the emotion or something, and he did, which is a little surprising to me, but he didn't want to go through senior night again, but what a story it is for Joey, only got 7 shots, makes 6 of them, gets 6 rebounds, again, playing too many minutes, Malik with the back injury, and then we had some things that we didn't do as well, but I thought Joey Hauser, missed a free throw. He's a 90% free throw shooter. AJ missed a couple. He said I froze him out on the last one. That's the great thing about AJ. He's at the line with 5 seconds left, and he misses the free throw, and he says, let me look around. And he looked around, there were 15,000 people, and he said, it's the coach's fault, you froze me out. So I said, you're damn right I did. I'm practicing for big games coming up.
Coach, you mentioned senior day kind of being an emotional day for everybody and kind of hard. Of course, you let the guys kind of have their excitement and everything, but after it's all over, how do you get the guys back focused and in that right mindset?
Yeah, it's mindset right now, and focus is a challenge for everybody. It's going to be an interesting week because we're on spring break, and which is kind of good, but I don't like it because it'd be nice to get into a routine. I think we haven't been in a routine for like 3 years, between COVID and all the things we've gone through. So a routine is important, but we're going to debate depending when we play and when we go over to Chicago. I think, got to check the rules. Oh, that's right, there aren't any rules anymore. So maybe we'll do whatever we want and maybe go over a day early. A couple of years ago we went over early and went to play Hamilton, just so I could tell the people in the UP that I have some culture and some awareness. And maybe we'll go to a Bulls game, maybe we'll do something, or maybe we'll just sit here and try to get better. We'll check that out. I don't think we'll know till tomorrow night, right? Is that right? Like, when's the last game?
7:30.
And there's 4 games on Saturday.
1 game on Saturday.
I mean Sunday.
And 6.
6.
And you guys question my sanity. I mean, come on. 6?
Yeah, we have the day to ourselves.
Oh God, how exciting.
Tom, I'm curious, you mentioned obviously the things you need to work on defensively, the rebounding, but considering the way this season's gone, kind of the things you've been through, and you keep talking about this is a team you believe can make a run.
I do.
Is it rounding in position to where you feel like you're really close to being in that spot to where we can start rattling games?
Yeah, and you know what? I don't mind putting that pressure on us. Normally I would downplay it. I do think we are. I read my lips. I don't think we're the best team I've had. I don't think we're great. But I think we're coming into our own, and especially, we're averaging 81 points a game in the last 5 or 6 games. We're shooting now, I think 50 from the field and 50 from the 3, and I don't know, we screwed up there at the free throw line, but we're still up in the high 80s. But ever since I came here, games are won, tournament games are won with defense rebounding. And that leads to the running, and when we were doing a pretty good job the first half, we were running. The second half, we just didn't do as good a job. They got a lot of penetration. When they get penetration, more chance for offensive rebounds. They didn't get a ton of them, but We just, I feel good because I think we can get that back. Okay, I really do. If they'd never done it before, like if I was sitting here right now, we're shooting 40% and 30 from the three, like some teams are in our league, I would feel worse because then I'd say, God, can we shoot the ball? Can we do this? We've really improved in the area we were weakest, and we've really gone downhill in the area we were the strongest. But I think we can get that back, and it's going to be a battle cry. I mean, who knows? Maybe we can have an offensive practice for 10 minutes and practice defense for 2 days. Maybe that would help, and maybe we'll do that. We're going to figure out a way. We're going to defend better than we've been defended. I promise you that.
What did you like from Hogarth running the offense today?
I didn't even notice his stats, but he gets 23 points and only takes 11 shots. And, AJ and I got a deal, the inside-out threes, he can shoot them. The other ones, we sometimes don't agree on, and he's taking less and less of those. He's 2 for 3. I thought every shot he took was a good shot. He's been shooting 90% from the line every night in practice. The night before a game he shot 91% last night. He only had 7 assists because some guys missed some shots, but he did only have 1 turnover too, So when Tyson's got 6 assists, he's got 7 assists. He gets 17 assists on 29 baskets. Not great for us, but it isn't bad. And the ball is moving better. If we get our defense to match our offense right now, that seems like it should be easier to do than it probably is. Then I think this team has a chance, to make a run. You can be good, and it comes down to matchups in these tournaments. Could be the Big Ten tournament, wrong matchup. It could be the NCAA tournament. That stuff happens, but our guard play has been better and better. And you usually need good guard play. You need to be able to defend to win in any kind of tournament scenario.
Tom, I want to ask you a little bit deeper about AJ, and in particular the free throws. You've praised him all year long for how he's improved in that area, and it's clear that in these late game situations where you guys are up a couple possessions and the fouls start happening, he wants the ball in his hands. He wasn't giving it up today, wasn't giving it up against Iowa either. But in both of those games, obviously the one crucial miss against Iowa and then the one today after, you joked about icing him. Where do you still feel about his confidence at the free throw line in those big moments where even though he's been good all game, these are the ones that really matter?
Oh, it's phenomenal. No, that doesn't bother me a bit. It's phenomenal because he did his work. It's simple. And Mark Montgomery's done a very good job with him. He forces him to shoot those free throws every day when AJ goes down there. I mean, I let Monty know what I thought of at the beginning of the year, and so he goes there with him every day. It's got to be sickening. But what's really cool is when you get results. And his results, they're not in a game or they're not at the end. And one thing, AJ, that I don't worry about, he's cocky enough to make those at the end. Don't worry about that. Now, he's confident enough to make those at the end. I don't worry about that at all. And I think he's earned what he's got. He's put his time in. He's been religious about it, and he's been consistent all year. And if I can convince him now on his three-point shot, keep working on that the same way. Still, I still want to get his body in better. I mean, we still got things to work on, but what he has worked on, he's done a damn good job.
Tom, I know Senior Day is very special here with this program, but with Ohio State really battling you to the end, was it a moment where you thought maybe I won't be able to substitute the guys out because we got to battle this thing out to the clock at 0?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we played Ohio State back when Draymond was here, I think we lost the Big Ten championship. That's when Dawson blew his knee and we were up 16. And so I've had, I think, 2 senior days, but I stole this from Wisconsin, to be honest with you, and I still think it's one of the great things you can do. Players deserve more than what you can do for them before the game, and I've been there through a loss, people still stayed. It's a little harder, but yeah, you worry about that. You don't sleep very well. I mean, that's one of the reasons you don't sleep very well. And with 5 minutes left, I wasn't doing very well awake. So yeah, you worry about that, but you worry more about losing the game. I mean, God bless the seniors, and it is important to me, but the win is important too, because that helps them as we move forward.
Got a couple more starting over here.
You mentioned about 5 minutes ago not being happy to be awake necessarily. When they cut it to 3 and then you guys answer immediately with a bucket, what in your experience, what is the difference between winning and losing in those moments? What separates a team? They've been fighting all game, they get within striking range, and then you make a play. That's happened to Ohio State a lot this year. What's the difference? in
Yeah,
those
well, I
moments?
think guard play is one of them, but I do think Tyson Walker, I mean, that layup he made, I don't know how he got it off. He made a couple big plays. Tyson's now been a go-to guy in those kind of situations and sometimes we just gotta let him go, because when we screen for him, they trap him and stay with it, try to get it out of his hands. So we did a few other things, but I think guard play is critical at the end of games. You know, last year we missed free throws. AJ shot 60-some%. We were very young at the guards. Now we got some experience. Jaden's shooting it really well. Still gotta figure out, you know, what's a good shot and a bad shot here and there. But I think our guard play and I thought the change of the game, even though they came back, was when Tyson really got into it defensively than AJ did, then he did. And it was too bad because Malik just couldn't go with his back. I don't know why he looks stiff as hell. And he's had a few problems this week, and I don't think it's anything serious. But he wasn't moving as good. That was the only negative.
Coach, with Malik being here the past 4 years versus the other 2 guys that were on her today, been through a lot this season alone with the injury. What have you seen from him that you've liked in terms of personal growth?
Well, Malik's my favorite guy because I've seen everything through him. You know, he's been through it all here. I mean, his career started. You know, we've had issues from day one, and meaning things that just happen in life, and COVID was a major part of it. And you know, so your second year, when you're having a good year, all of a sudden you're off that summer, you don't get to really practice. These guys have, you know, I feel bad for that class. Even my own son, I feel bad that they did not get the normal experience that 90% of you did that went to college, you know, and it's too bad. I mean, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it some more, that, you know, I had my other college roommate with us, Jerry Rosberg, today, who was the coach of the Broncos there a couple games, but he was in pro football for a long time. And, you know, last night we sat and talked a little bit after guys shot. What do you talk about? You talk about the NFL? Hell no. You talk about my team? Hell no. Talk about what we did in college, you know, in a positive, in a good way, you know, and how we give our right arm to be back there. And I just, it saddens me that I don't think our kids are going to have that same experience, this group. And then what does it do? You know, as they grow older, you know, what do we do? How do we navigate around this is going to be a little difficult. Somehow we got to get back to what I think is the real world. I know it's going to change some, but I don't think it's going to, if it changes as much as it's been lately, I think we're all in trouble.
All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.